chasing her through history. Chrono skimmer, engines hot, bio-villains, evil plot. Our brave squadron leader will help us defeat her and bring back the loot to its rightful place in time. Tell me where in time is Carmen Sandiego? Stop her crime and solve this mystery. Tell me where in time is Carmen Sandiego? We're on the case and we're chasing her through history.
And here's your Time Pilot Squadron leader, Kevin Shinnick. Kevin? Kevin!
Hey, welcome aboard, everybody. Let's hang on tight because we've got a very big mission, but very little time. Let's begin today's journey by meeting our time pilots, starting with Elysia Lichty. Come on, Elysia, nice to see you. And Michael Reed. Come on, Michael, nice to see you, buddy. Way to go. And Clifford Perino. Clifford, way to go, buddy. All right. Garage like that. Welcome aboard, time pilots. You heard the mission from the chief. We're going to start by equipping each of you with 100 power points. All right. Now, pilots, our nanoprobes have revealed the time and place where Carmen has sent Jacqueline Hyde. So let's get things started. Bridge to engine crew. Let's warp to the time of the crime. Chief, we've arrived at our time target. What's our mission profile?
Squadron, you've time traveled to 1791. Location, the French colony of Saint-Domingue. Until this time, the French forced African slaves to work plantations on this island in the West Indies. Conditions were brutal, and many died. But in 1791, the slaves launched an uprising led by Toussaint Louverture. 3 years later, the French abolished slavery, and in 1804, this colony was proclaimed an independent nation under a different name. Or so history told us till now, when Jacqueline Hyde hightailed it back in time and heisted the entire place.
Thanks a lot, Chief. All right, time pilots. For 10 power points, what place did Jacqueline Hyde steal? Give me the modern-day name. All right, was it Bermuda, Haiti, or Jamaica? Remembering the clues we just heard. Located in West Indies, 1791 slave uprising led by Toussaint Louverture, and gained independence from France in 1804. All right, guys, those are the clues. Lock on to an answer as soon as you can. Cliff, why don't you punch in there? All righty. Elysia, what'd you say?
I said Haiti.
Okay, Michael.
I also said Haiti.
And Cliff?
I said Bermuda.
All right, correct answer is Haiti. 10 points for Elysia and Michael. Cliff, don't worry about that. It's early on. And you know, pilots, Haiti was the original Arawak Indian name for this place, and its independence made it the world's first black republic. So, if one of you today can save the history of resistance to slavery and capture Carmen, you'll win a complete multimedia computer system. But the big question is, where in time is Jacqueline Hyde? Hey, it's the clue finder, guys. It's locked on to someone in the future. Let's bring him on board, see if they can help us.
Permit me to introduce myself, sir. Frederick Douglass.
Wow, the Frederick Douglass? The famous public speaker? The one who started life as a slave, learned how to read and write, and then escaped and became a great opponent of slavery in the U.S.?
The same.
Wow.
So, you believe I really am a former slave?
Well, sure, doesn't everyone?
Actually, no. Some people thought I was a fraud. Said I was far too well-spoken to have ever been a slave. Ooh, that made me furious. My anger just built and built until I snapped. I did something really crazy.
What'd you do?
I wrote an autobiography.
Boy, Fred, you really went nuts there, buddy, huh?
Indeed. You see, I named my former owner in my book and feared he might try to find me. So, I spent 2 years in Great Britain speaking out against slavery. Then, I returned to America last year.
Aren't you afraid of being recaptured?
Aha! I earned enough money in Europe to buy my own freedom.
Oh.
I've also started my own anti-slavery newspaper, the North Star.
The North Star, look
Yes,
at that.
it's good reading, too. Much better than that Communist Manifesto that just came out.
Well, I love newspapers. Did you just have a sports page? Because I'd love to get a look at last night's.
You're trying my patience, good man.
I didn't.
Don't make me angry.
Okay,
I might write another autobiography.
Oh, all right. Thank you. Well, thanks very much. I will. Thank you.
Freedom!
Okay. Boy, pilots. All right. Tell me, where in time is Jacqueline Hyde? Is it 1848, 1866, or 1889? Remembering the clues we just heard. Frederick Douglass publishes North Star newspaper. Slavery is legal in U.S. And Communist Manifesto published in London. All right, Elysia, what did you say?
I said 1866.
All right, Michael.
I said 1848.
And Cliff?
I also said 1848.
Well, all right, the correct answer is 1848. 10 points from Michael and Cliff. You know, Squadron, Frederick Douglass opposed violence. His main weapons in the fight against slavery were his intelligence and literary skills. So it's very fitting that this abolitionist leader would later be appointed U.S. minister to Haiti. But all that history may never happen if we fail today. So, bridge to engine crew, let's warp to 1848. Great, pilots. We followed Jacqueline Hyde to the year 1848, but she's about to do some globe hopping in the 1840s, so it's time for global pursuit. Listen closely, watch the globe on your screen, and buzz in after I finish the question. If you're right, you get 5 power points. And if you're wrong, you lose 5. All right, remember, we're in the 1840s. And here we go. Jacqueline's on the island where Frederick Douglass makes his first anti-slavery speech. Going to Elysia.
Nantucket?
Correct. Then she sashayed to the state where black and white mill workers aren't allowed to look out the same window. Going to Michael.
South Carolina?
Yes. Hyde stamped to the city where slave Henry Brown arrives in a parcel, having shipped himself to freedom. Going to Elysia.
Philadelphia?
Correct. Next, she convened in the city where the World Anti-Slavery Convention opens and excludes women. Going to Michael.
London?
Yes. Jacqueline's in the place where Pope Gregory XVI declares opposition to slavery. Going again to Michael.
The Vatican?
Yes, Vatican City. Very nice, guys. Let's see what happened. Right now, Elysia has 120 power points. Michael leading the way with 135, and Cliff has 110. That was a great pursuit, pilots. Unfortunately, Jacqueline escaped and is still on the loose with Haiti. So, for our next clue, let's check in with the engine crew. Guys?
President Lincoln told a Civil War torn nation that he would issue the Emancipation Proclamation. Wrote a Confederate states to set the slaves free and made the Civil War a war against slavery. Free all slaves
becomes the law when the 13th Amendment was passed after the Civil War.
Free all slaves.
That's how it goes. After the Civil War, the 13th Amendment is made into law.
Made into law.
All right, great clue, guys. Pilots, name the decade where Jacqueline Hyde has taken Haiti. Is it the 1840s, the 1850s, or the 1860s? Remembering the clues we just heard. President Abraham Lincoln. Emancipation Proclamation makes the Civil War a battle against slavery. And all U.S. slaves freed by passage of the 13th Amendment. Oh, look at that. You're already in. Wow, you guys are great. Elysia, what did you say?
I said the 1850s.
Okay, and Michael?
I said the 1860s.
And Cliff?
I also said the 1860s.
All right, correct answer is the 1860s. 10 points from Michael and Cliff. You know, Squadron, Lincoln's original reason for fighting the Civil War was to preserve the Union. He later decided to make the war a battle against slavery. And one advisor who worked to persuade him was none other than Frederick Douglass. Right now, let's keep things moving. So, bridge to engine crew, let's warp to the 1860s.
Hey, pilots! What directions to the junkyard? Now you're gonna need 'em!
trouble with Jacqueline Hyde? Engine room, report!
The engine room's been transformed into a ticker tape parade.
Better do a data boost.
Okay, pilots, let's help them out. We made it to the 1860s, but it's time for a data boost. So, I'll name an event. Your job, buzz in and tell me if it happened in the 1860s or the 1960s. All right, 1860s or 1960s. Here we go. Vice President Hannibal Hamlin elected. Going to Alicia.
1860s.
Correct. That was Abraham Lincoln's vice president. Very good. Congress passes Voting Rights Act, outlawing literacy tests as requirement to vote. It's time to Michael.
1960s?
Yes, it is the 1960s. Literacy and other tests have been used to exclude blacks from voting in the South. Next up, racist organization Ku Klux Klan founded. Going to Michael.
1860s?
Correct, 1860s. Civil rights law passed over President Johnson's veto. Going to Michael.
1860s?
Correct again, 1860s. Vetoed by President Andrew Johnson, the act was meant to guarantee former slaves the rights intended by the 13th Amendment. Next up, federal troops enforce desegregation of University of Mississippi. Going to Alicia.
1960s.
Correct, 1960s. Very nice, guys. Let's see how well we did. Right now, Alicia has 130 power points. Michael has 160 and leading the way still. And Cliff has 120. That was a great data boost, pilots. And just a reminder that all our data has been verified by Encyclopedia Britannica. Question is, where in time is Jacqueline Hyde? So let's check in with time. Wait, what's happening to the ship? Guys, our communications have gone dead. Must be an energy pulse.
Hi, time pilots. I've come to tell you about a celebration. President Nelson Mandela just finished his first full year in office. It's a good time for South Africa. But things are terrible in Northern Africa. Thousands of blacks in Mauritania and Sudan are basically slaves, bought and sold like property. But that can't be possible. Slavery is illegal everywhere, right? Sure, so what? Mauritania has outlawed slavery 3 times, but it still goes on and nobody seems to care. That may be changing. African-American journalist Samuel Cotton wrote a series of stories that publicized and condemned this awful practice. And modern-day abolitionists are fighting to put a stop to it. Abolitionists in this day and age? Sometimes the world seems as messed up as me.
All right, pilots, where in time is Jacqueline Hyde? Give me the year. Is it 1987, 1991, or 1995? Remembering the clues we just heard. President Mandela celebrates first full year in office. Slavery continues in Mauritania and Sudan. And black journalist Samuel Cotton exposes modern-day slavery. All right, guys, those are the clues. Just about everybody. Okay, now we're there. Alicia, what did you say?
I said 1991.
All right, Michael?
I said 1995.
And Cliff?
I also said 1995.
All right, correct answer is 1995. 10 points from Michael and Cliff. You know, pilots, it's unbelievable to think that in the 1990s, the last page in the history of slavery has yet to be written. Until it is, the history of resistance to slavery must continue as well. Right now, that history is in our hands. So, Squadron, we've got to make one final leap forward in time, and that means an ultimate data boost. Squadron, in an ultimate data boost, each correct answer gets you 10 power points. But if you're wrong, you lose 10, okay? It's a very close game, guys. Right now, Elysia has 130 power points. Michael leading the way with 170, and Cliff has 130. This next round determines who goes on to complete this mission. Can I see some smiles before we go on there, please? Okay, very good. Thank you very much. All right, guys, earlier in our mission, we heard Frederick Douglass tell us about his autobiography. So, I'll read you a quote. You buzz in and tell me if that quote is from the autobiography of Frederick Douglass, if I can say his name right, or if it's from the autobiography of NBA superstar Dennis Rodman. Remember, your choices are Frederick Douglass or Dennis Rodman. Okay, here we go. I had risen above a tough childhood, poor education, trouble with the law, and a stretch of homelessness. Going to Elysia.
Frederick Douglass.
No, I'm sorry, that's Dennis Rodman, oddly enough. My long-crushed spirit rose. Cowardice departed. Bold defiance took its place. Going this time to Cliff.
Frederick Douglass?
Yes. You're nothing as a man if you can't speak from the heart. Going to Michael.
Frederick Douglass?
No, I'm sorry, it's Dennis Rodman. These are tough guys. My wages were $1.50 a day. Going to Michael.
Frederick Douglass?
Yes, that was Frederick Douglass. Douglass earned this working at a shipyard while still a slave. He was forced to give it all to his owner, though. The nearest estimate I can give makes me now between 27 and 28 years of age. Going to Cliff.
Dennis Rodman?
No, that would be Frederick Douglass. When I listen to Pearl Jam, the music releases everything that's bound up inside me. Going to Michael.
And was Dennis Rodman?
Yeah, well, Dennis Rodman is the answer, is what it is. Very nice. And finally, in the early part of the year 1838, I became quite restless. Going to Elysia.
Frederick Douglass?
Yes, that was Frederick Douglass. Very nice, guys. Let's see what happened, okay? Elysia has 130 power points. Michael has 180, and Cliff also has 130, which means we have a tie. I'll tell you what that means, guys. Since you have the same score, to break the tie, I'll give you clues about a U.S. president. The first one to identify the president correctly goes on to the next round, okay? Right now, only Michael is moving on to the next round, and we're going to see who's going to go on. So, you guys may buzz in as often as you like, okay? If you're wrong, it's okay, just buzz in again. Tell me, who is this president? He was the 32nd president of the United States. Going to Cliff.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt?
Yes, very nice, Cliff. And that means that Michael and Cliff are moving on to the next phase of this mission. Elysia, you did very well today. Give me 5. Nice to see that smile. And right now, the Chief wants to express our appreciation.
Okay, so Jacqueline Hyde has split, but you kept yourself together, pilot, so there's a TimeNet mission pack headed your way, filled with great games and gear like Carmen CD-ROMs, board games, and the cool Chrono Skimmer cap. Great work, pilot. I salute you.
Pilots, let's wave goodbye to Elysia as she heads back to TimeNet Command. You guys ready for your next order from the Chief?
Yes.
All right, big smiles and everything. We're ready, Chief.
Time pilots, the history of abolition is at stake. Get to 1995 and liberate Haiti. Kevin, you're in command.
Aye, aye, Chief. Time pilots, full speed ahead to 1995. Look, Jacqueline Hyde's got Haiti in a cybersphere. Activate the loot tractor beam.
See? Good always wins over evil.
Oh, yeah? Well, who asked you?
Well, all right, we've gotten back Haiti and have it safely on board. Way to go, guys. Plus, you're now one step closer to winning that great multimedia computer system we mentioned earlier. But before we continue chasing Jacqueline Hyde, we've got to return the loot to 1791. So let's check in with the Chief to get our flight plan. Chief!
Time pilots, you must navigate the Chrono Skimmer through 8 events from the history of slavery and freedom movements, starting at the most recent event and finishing at the least recent event. Here are the events on your flight plan. Nelson Mandela begins 27-year imprisonment. Toussaint Louverture leads Haitian slave revolt. Harriet Beecher Stowe completes anti-slavery novel Uncle Tom's Cabin. Mauritania becomes the last nation to ban slavery. Frederick Douglass escapes from slavery. Martin Luther King assassinated. Marcus Garvey founds the Universal Negro Improvement Association at start of World War I. President Truman desegregates U.S. armed forces. That's your briefing time, pilots. Good luck on your journey.
Thanks, Chief. All right, Michael, you had the higher score. You have the choice of going first or second.
I'll go first.
All right. In that case, Michael, I want you to navigate this Chrono Skimmer back through time from the most recent event to the least recent event, starting by picking the most recent event on the board. You may begin.
Mauritania is last to ban slavery.
Mauritania is last to ban slavery. Correct. 1980.
Martin Luther King assassinated.
Correct. You've plotted a course to 1968. The shooting led to riots in dozens of American cities. Keep going.
Truman desegregates armed forces.
Okay, gonna go to Cliff.
Britannia is last to ban slavery.
Correct. 1980.
Martin Luther King assassinated.
Correct. 1968.
Mandela begins 27-year imprisonment.
Yes, you've gotten us to 1962. He was jailed for fighting the racist South African regime. Keep going.
Truman desegregates armed forces.
Desegregates armed forces, yes, 1948.
Garvey founds UNIA as World War I begins?
Correct. 1914, the Universal Negro Improvement Association sought an independent black-governed nation in Africa. Keep going.
Stowe's Uncle Tom cabin completed?
Correct. 1852.
Douglas escaped slavery?
Yes, 1838.
Haitian slave revolt?
Correct. 1791. Cliff, you saved history. Give me 5. Either way is good. That's what we'd like to see it. Now, I want you to activate the transporter and restore the loot to its proper place and time. Way to go. Guys, that was great. Both of you, everybody did really well today. You know, Cliff, you and I are going to move on in just a moment, but Michael, you did so well, we couldn't have gotten this far without you. And right now, the Chief has another mission for you, and she's here to tell you all about it.
You've earned an equipment upgrade, like an Acme TimeNet mission pack, and this portable CD player. Great digital sound, plus super headphones to give you stereo on the go. Head not included. Good work, Time Pilot.
Right now, Michael is piloting the chronoskimmer back to the present. But Clifford, it's time for us to chase Jacqueline Hyde and Carmen through the trail of time. You with me?
Yes.
Let's go. Look out, Carmen.
We're on our way.
We're on the case and we're chasing her through history. Chrono skimmer, engines hot, bio-villains, evil plot. Our brave squadron leader will help us defeat her and bring back the loot to its rightful place in time. Tell me where in time is Carmen Sandiego? Stop her crime and solve this mystery. Tell me where in time is Carmen Sandiego? We're on the case and we're chasing her through history.
Hey, Clifford, we've made it to the trail of time. You've got to track Carmen through 6 time portals by answering her questions. You think you're up for it?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's do it. Ready, set, go, Clifford, go. Follow the engine crew to the first portal.
It's 1494. Who stops Columbus from selling 500 Indians into slavery? Queen Isabella or Pope Alexander?
Pope Alexander.
All right, activate the pump. Go ahead. Keep going. That gate's gonna open. Faster. You got it, pal. Keep going. All right. Move on to the second portal, Clifford.
It's the year 1814. Which European country abandons the slave trade? France or Holland?
France.
All right, pull the rope. Pull the rope to lift the wheel, and that gate's gonna open. That's it. Keep going, keep going. Way to go. You've got 42 seconds left with 4 more to go. Keep up the good work.
It's 1831. Who starts the anti-slavery journal, The Liberator? Frederick Douglass or William Garrison?
William Garrison.
All right. Hey, you've captured Jacqueline Hyde. Way to go.
It's 1868. Which amendment makes former slaves U.S. citizens? The 14th or the 15th?
14th.
Okay, you've got 12 seconds left. Keep going, buddy.
It's 1923. Who establishes the first Soviet forced labor camp? Stalin or Lenin?
Lenin.
Oh, Clifford, that was rough. Carmen's gotten away because time ran out, but you did capture Jacqueline Hyde. That's tough to do, and we're proud of you for doing that. And right now, the Chief is here to say a few words. Chief?
Well, you didn't get your hands on Carmen today, but you won't finish this mission empty-handed. I'm issuing you a TimeNet mission pack and this great CD radio cassette music system. Nice job, Time Pilot. Chief out.
Thanks, Chief. Clifford, that was a tough mission, but you did very, very well. We're proud of you. But right now, we've got to head back to the present. And remember, at Acme TimeNet, history is our job. The future is yours.
We're on the case and we're chasing her through history. Throttle open, thrusters on, chrono skimmer gets us gone. And extra sauce and we'll all beat the clock from the Stone Age to Middle Age to Space Age and back. Tell me where in time is Carmen Sandiego? Stop her crime and solve this mystery. Tell me where in time is Carmen Sandiego? We're on the case and we're chasing her through history. Nero's fiddle, Lincoln's beard, Newton's apple disappeared. The finest tea from the Ming Dynasty, and the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria, we've got to get them back. Tell me where in time is Carmen Sandiego? Stop her crime and solve this mystery. Tell me where in time is Carmen Sandiego? We're on the case and we're chasing her through history. Nero's fiddle, Lincoln's beard, Newton's apple disappeared. The finest tea from the Ming Dynasty, and the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria, we've got to get them back. Tell me where in time.
All historical information has been verified by Encyclopedia Britannica. This program was produced by WGBH Boston and WQED Pittsburgh. Carmen's journey through time is propelled by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and viewers like you. This is Lynn Thigpen. I salute you on a mission well done.
To receive a free copy of the 16-page Carmen Sandiego Teacher's Guide with classroom history activities, write to the address you see on the screen.